This is Physics Chapter 2, Problem 57, and it reads, a truck driver has a shipment of apples to deliver to a destination 440 miles away. The trip usually takes him 8 hours. Today he finds himself daydreaming and realizes 120 miles into his trip that he's running 15 minutes later than his usual pace at this point. At what speed must he drive for the remainder of the trip to complete the trip in the usual amount of time? So first we're going to find the speed that he usually drives at. So we're going to use the equation velocity equals change in x over change in time. And our change in x, as it said, was 440 miles. And our change in time was 8 hours. And so we need to divide those two. So the speed he usually drives at is 55 miles an hour. Next, we're going to rearrange, this is change in time, so that time equals distance divided by velocity. And so the distance we're driving, that he has driven, is 120 miles, and his velocity is 55 miles per hour. And so that leads us to get 2.18 hours is the usual amount of time it takes him to drive 120 miles. However, today, since he is 15 minutes late, we need to add that onto this. So we're going to simultaneously convert 15 minutes into hours and add it onto that time. So you divide 15 by 60 because there are 60 minutes in 1 hour and he's going for 15 minutes. And so once you add those, you get 2.43 hours is how long it's taken him to go the 120 miles. And so next we need to find the amount of time he has left. So we take 8 hours and subtract 2.43 hours, and we get he has 5.57 hours to complete the trip on time. So now we're going to use this velocity equation again. So we do velocity equals the remaining 320 miles he needs to drive divided by his remaining 5.57 hours. He has to complete the trip on time, and that gives us he needs to drive at 57 miles per hour.